Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode. It's a Let's Play episode, guys. It's a episode of Kingdom Hearts 1. And last time we did Monstro and 2 cups at the Olympus Colosseum. And today we're going to try to warp drive to Monstro, see if that works. If it does, we can exit right away through the save point. If it doesn't, we can just continue on in the Gumi route. And let me... yeah, lower the volume a little bit. Okay, so Monstro is here. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. It's a little weird. I think he might just not show up if you've gotten everything inside Monstro. But I think there's a couple of Heartless which you want to go into Monstro for, which, of course, drops are kind of an infinite thing, so you can never have all of them. And the rare truffle thing, so... it might just be a random chance thing. I don't know how Monstro works. After all these years, I still don't know, and I have never bothered to try and find out. Maybe I should just Google it. Maybe I should just look it up once, and I'll know forever. Maybe that would be a good idea. You know I won't do that, like, ever. By the time Kingdom Hearts 5 will be released, and at this pace that'll be literally 2050. I still won't know how Monstro works in Kingdom Hearts 1. And at that point I'll have played this game like at least a dozen more times, because I usually end up playing this game about like once a year or so. Usually I just skip the cutscenes. Last time I didn't skip the cutscenes was because I wanted to get the HD footage for my game footage archive, which that's been a couple of months now. This is a year where I play it 2 times inside of a year. And then I probably will play it in about a year's time again. In a way, I cycle through the same... it's Atlantica, goddammit. Well, here we go. This is going to be a fun episode. I'm not going to enjoy this one, I can tell you that much. Disembark, here we go. I was going to say something about... oh yeah, it's weird. For the past, like... 5 or so years of my life, I haven't played a lot of new games. I end up mostly just playing the same cycle, consisting of Rayman 2 and 3, Spyro 1 and 2, Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3, the entire Kingdom Hearts series except the DS games. That's mostly it. I mean, there's a little bit of Rayman Legends sprinkled in every now and then, but that's pretty much the loop I play. Or I have played of games, and lately that has changed a bit. I've broadened my horizons a little bit more, mostly with games I already knew. Psychonauts honestly was one of the first games in a long time I played from start to end, which I hadn't played before.
Oh, relax, Sebastian. They don't look like one of them. Right, Flounder? I don't know. There's something weird about it.
I fucking hate this world.
What do you mean?
I don't mind Kingdom Hearts 2's version of this world that much, but that's because they got rid of all the gameplay.
A little different. Where are you from?
And it's not even the gameplay, it's not even the swimming part. It is the fucking world design. The way the rooms are laid out, and how it's not clear where you have to go at any point at all. It's all so goddamn frustrating, and I just hate it. It's just that I hate it. With a burning passion, I hate it. I know how to swim. Can I just skip this? I don't want to waste any time on this. This is taking too long already. Where are you, Flounder? There you are. Okay, maybe. Okay, there you go. I used the wrong button once. I need an entire tutorial because I used the wrong button once. Holy hell. The tutorial doesn't take too long, granted, but it's just... in any game ever, and I fully understand, also locking on automatically increases your position as well. But that doesn't quite work for the last one where he's very, very high up. Okay, not the last one. The last one is down here. In any game ever, and I do understand why developers don't do this, I want for every tutorial, I want an option to skip it. Because I am a person, like I just mentioned, who tends to replay games. And when you replay the game 5, 6, 7 or even more times, tutorials get really fucking annoying. And when tutorials are done without big prompts, just here's a battle which is easy, have a tutorial, that's not too big a deal. Kingdom Hearts 2 does that. I mean, even the normal Kingdom Hearts 1, this game, holds your hand a little bit more. And Dream Drop Distance does it very bad as well. But Kingdom Hearts 2 actually does that fairly well. It doesn't throw pop-ups at your face every other fucking 2 minutes. Can I just please open this? Thank you. This game could be worse, could be better. There's some games that are actually horrible though for tutorials. Final Fantasy X, for instance. I don't know if you can skip tutorials when you say advanced on the sphere grid. I don't know if that implies like, oh, I've played this game before. Let's switch Ariel with Donald. Because Ariel is mostly a magic user, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that implies, oh, I've played this game before, so I don't need tutorials. I don't know. Usually, Final Fantasy X is another one of those games I tend to replay every now and then. But there's long enough of a period in between me playing that game that I always do the standard sphere grid, because I always forget how exactly does it work again. Well, it's not that complicated whatsoever, actually. It's rather self-explanatory. You just place a thing on the grid and you gain extra points in certain types of stats, or you can like get an ability or a spell. It's really self-explanatory, and honestly one of the best level up systems in RPG history. I honestly don't know why it hasn't been cloned as much. The only people who have cloned, as far as I'm aware, this system is Square Enix themselves, because Kingdom Hearts Recoded used something similar to it, and I guess Final Fantasy XI kind of uses... That's not 11, that's 12, I'm sorry. 11 is an MMO. No, thank you. Final Fantasy 12 kind of used something similar to it as well, I guess, but that's the only two games that are even close to... Truffles, I hate them. Even close to copying the sphere grid system, which it's a brilliant system. It gives you so much opportunity to customize, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded even goes one step further, having these like power nodes connecting everything, and everything in between on the path in between two of those nodes gets doubled. So you want to level up once. Granted, it works a little bit different in Final Fantasy X than it does on Recoded, but that's the whole point of like copying and improving on a system, is you get the base of the system and then you change a little bit and see if it works, and if it doesn't, the next time you change something else, and you keep evolving it until you come up with a better system, and eventually it'll be nothing quite like the original system, but still have the same basic principles. That's the evolution of like gameplay loops, and that's the evolution of that's how evolution works in like general. So, but you have these nodes connecting paths between the nodes, which are doubled, and rather than getting a sphere point which allows you to move in a sphere grid, you get like the equivalent of what would be a sphere in Final Fantasy X when you level up, which is just a level up, getting some stats, but you can also get other spheres like strength up or magic up, and more often than not it's worthwhile putting level ups on the paths which are doubled, because level ups are usually the best kind of increases for you. So that gets you into a whole like system. I just love it. I love how deep, complex and over the top the story of Kingdom Hearts is. That's why I love Kingdom Hearts and certain Final Fantasy games as well. Final Fantasy X being a very good one at that as well. But having that like same complexity in not gameplay per se, because the gameplay in Final Fantasy X is rather simple, but the level up system in particular is very in-depth and complex.
Daddy?
Oh, Ariel, when will you listen? It's dangerous out there. Strange creatures lurk outside.
Behold, you swim before the ruler of the seas, His Majesty King Triton.
And who are they?
They helped us fight off those creatures.
They don't look familiar.
We're from an ocean very far away.
Yup, we came to find the keyhole.
The what?
What's that?
Well, it's a...
There's no such thing, certainly not here.
But Daddy...
Ariel, not another word. You are not to leave the palace. Is that clear?
Long story short, fuck you, Daddy. Okay, now that sounded weird.
Perhaps I'm being too strict.
Perhaps you are, my good friend.
I'm just
Anyhow, at this point I just don't know what to do because this world confuses me to no end. Usually I skip it because of that, and also because I just don't like the way it's laid out. And it's kind of vague about where you have to go at all times, so I just don't like this world. I think we have to go to Ariel's grotto, but after that,
Just as you suspected, Your Majesty,
legitimately have no idea. Maybe I'll finally be able to do it and I'll actually go through this rather quickly. Hopefully, because the sooner I'm done with Atlantica, the happier I'll be.
Yes, she poses serious danger.
And I told you to keep Ariel away from such danger, did I not?
Your Majesty, please,
Finally, we can get back into the amazing gameplay of Atlantica, Another Sea. So, next stop is the grotto, I think. I didn't even know there was a trinity here. How does that even work on the water? Oh, it's not a jump. Never mind. It's a trinity you get in Hollow Bastion, and I don't know what it's called. All the trinities, I should probably mention, have a certain name. The blue ones are Trinity Jump, the red ones are Trinity Push, the green ones are Trinity Ladder, the yellow ones are... No, the yellow one is Trinity Push, and there's only one of them in the game, I believe, and that's at Olympus Coliseum, concealing the keyhole. It's still a big boulder you couldn't push at the beginning of the game, giving you some nice like progression because you couldn't push at the beginning of the game. And then with the Trinity, you can, but it also lets you see that yeah, if you do this all together with Sora, Donald, and Goofy, it's a lot easier. I certainly remember what I'm supposed to do actually after going to the grotto. Because we go to the grotto and then we see a little thing and then we have to go get that little thing and then we have to come back and then Triton destroys it and then what happens after that? I think that's where I usually get stuck. Is that when you go to Ursula? I think that's when you go to Ursula and then you go to Big Ursula and that's the end of this world. I think that's how it goes. I am not quite sure. So, do we like examine this? No, we do not. Maybe I should have paid attention to the dialogue there, because I usually also don't do that, because I don't like the world and I want to speed through it, and it's kind of like chicken or the egg kind of deal, right? Do I not pay attention because I don't know what I'm doing? Which then results in me not knowing what I'm doing, which results in me paying less attention, which results in me not knowing what to do, which... It's a never-ending cycle. I could really easily probably break it by just playing through this world a couple of times. And raiding stuff. And at that point, I'll probably know it for the rest of my life. As for right now, though, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, hopefully I'm just gonna swim in the right direction and end up where I'm supposed to be. Because if that's not the case, I'm gonna be a little sad. I probably also should go into customization and finally get rid of fire. Yeah, fire. And put arrow on, especially with the boss fight. Okay, here you go. next. What? I only did one. Did you disappear as well? And what's the third? This is not how... Oh! What is this? What is this? Oh, it's this one! I didn't... Wait a second, isn't this one supposed to be in Deep Jungle? This one is supposed to be in Deep Jungle. Is it also... in Atlantica? Huh? What? How? Why? I do not understand. That one is supposed to be in Deep Jungle. It's one of the like special minigame heartless, which in Game Mods 2 Final Mix were replaced with the Mushroom Organization. I do not understand. Not at all. Are there 2 locations for that specific heartless? Is that a bug? I'm gonna have to look that up. During the next cutscene, I'll go Google that because it confuses me and I don't like it. Like I was saying, also it feels like the house is falling apart. Holy hell! Strong winds, I guess, and not a very solidly built house. I was talking about Arrow and Ursula. Yeah, the bigger boss fights usually benefit from you using Arrow a little bit more since it has contact damage and you have to get right up in their faces. Also level 31. When did that happen? Holy hell. So Arrow. Only one spell to go. What is the last spell I don't have yet? Or do I have all spells by now? I think I might have all spells. And the last one is just a blank space. Let's see. I mean, I've already gotten 2 spells at raw level, so I think I've gotten all the spells now. That being said, I did already have all the Blizzara and Fire before I got Gravity. But I'm pretty sure this is all the spells in the game. Honestly, I'm just talking shit, I don't know anything. I don't ever use magic in this game other than Thunder because of Area of Effect. I use Arrow against Ursula and Chernobog. And then I use Cure because I don't want to die. That's as far as magic goes in this game, and that's as far as magic is useful in this game. Not counting the fight against the Phantom, because the Phantom is a magic-based fight and it's annoying and I'm not going to do it. So I just want to have some fun. There should be a dolphin here. Right. I'm pretty sure there should be a dolphin. You see what I mean? I don't have any idea what I'm supposed to do in this part of the game. Did I skip something? I think I skipped something, but what did I skip if I skipped something? Let me try again. I'm pretty sure I need to go up there to the left. And for that I do require a dolphin. Do I need to... There is a possibility. It's not a strong possibility, but there is a possibility. What even is this? Why even is it there? We can actually... good thing we have to go back. We can check whether or not... Yeah, they're still here. This is weird. It's really weird. Where do we go? Do we go back to the palace? I don't think we go back to the palace. Do we go over here? Let's go over here first. See what happens. Yeah, nothing. This is literally only useful for a cutscene. And maybe for this shell. Okay, it's a Mega Potion. There's a Mega Potion here and a cutscene takes place. That's the only reason for this to exist, I do believe. Is it one of those situations where I have to leave the grotto to enter a cutscene and then go back in? Because that's something this game tends to do sometimes, and it's weird. I have to talk to Flounder. It's a really big fish that can swim against the current. And now it has unlocked the dolphin, I think. Is the dolphin still over here? It still is over here. And you have to get rid of all the heartless around, or at least you can't board him while there are heartless around. So either kill or despawn them. I think I have to grab onto him, and if that's the case, on the one hand side, it's a good way of like doing a forced tutorial, because it means you ensure your player knows what to do before they actually have to do it. Then again, it's also just confusing, the fact that I have to grab onto him here, nothing happens, and then he leaves for the other area. So either way, I'm gonna complain. Because that's what I do best, I complain a lot. I mean, by now you should probably know that. I am very good at complaining. Oh no, don't come over here, you stupid ass. I know this is not particularly... Oh, I need 2 MP for that. I know that was not particularly efficient as far as MP goes, but I didn't really want to have a chance of triggering anything. So yeah, we can grab onto his fin, and then we can let go. And now, can we find another dolphin? Oh yeah, this is more what I'm supposed to see here. Or at least as far as I'm aware. Yeah, you can see the dolphin going over there. So either we were supposed to talk to Flounder, and I think that's not the case. I think we were very much supposed to grab onto him and then come over here. Which is bullshit, I might add. Absolute total bullshit. There's a place over here which is relatively safe, usually. I'm not going to chase him because that's just going to spawn a lot of enemies. I'm just going to kill everything around here and then wait. Wait for him to come back around. I think that is the best way of doing this. I mean, it's going to take a while to kill everything around here because it's also spaced out, because the maps are designed horribly. We'll come back around here. You see, there he is already. It's just that easy. Grab onto him. That went a lot quicker than the last couple of times I did this, and now that I am like talking about what I'm doing and why this probably works, I would imagine that next time I actually remember what I'm supposed to do here. So if I ever replay this game again, which, let's be honest, I probably will, I'll know it. And from here on out, I pretty much know everything I'm supposed to do, I'm fairly certain. This, by the way, scared me absolutely to hell as a child. And it's not that scary, but if you don't know it's coming and if you're a little kid, yeah, that's a jump scare and a half. I'll tell you. Crystal Trident gives us the ability to unlock the keyhole, but it can't be that easy. It can never be that easy. We can also fight the shark. Let's fight the shark. I don't know what it gives. I think it gives you like a potion and a decent amount of experience and a lot of MP. Can you just die? Okay, so it gives you 130 experience, which is decent. It's pretty good actually, especially since it didn't take a lot of... Okay, so it gives you 3 potions. That's about it seems. It's not very good. Because I've got Cure. You see that over there? It's gone. That's where we're gonna fight Ursula. It's gonna be the final boss of this world. I suppose it's the only... It's not the only boss. Just by definition, it's not the only boss, because you fight Ursula before going there, and then she escapes, and you go after her, and then you fight Big Ursula. But does the shark count as a mini boss, or is it just an enemy? Because he does return. And you can fight them over and over and over again. So why did I try to hit that rock? Why? Did I think I had to break the rock in order to get through? Because in a certain sense that would make a lot of sense, I suppose. And this is the end of this world. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. Oh no, we're about halfway through.
Ariel, you've disobeyed me again. I told you not to leave the palace.
Daddy, no!
I'll tell you, I lost my bottle. Ah, never mind. That's like a running thing now. Me losing my bottle of water and while complaining about it, I find it.
You're not from another ocean. You're from another world, aren't you?
Huh?
Then you must be the key bearer.
I do wonder how King Trident knows about this though. That never really gets explained, does it?
Ariel, but you can't fool me. You don't know your dorsal fin from your tail. As the key bearer, you must already know one must not meddle in the affairs of other worlds.
Hang on.
Of course I know that.
That's different connotation from... Okay, this is like really in-depth and really... I'm nerding out, but that's a different connotation from the dialogue you hear in the flashback in Kingdom Hearts 2, which Roxas has, while Sora's memories are being restored. So that means not only did they replace the Billy Zane lines from Ansem in Kingdom Hearts 2 because they got a new voice actor, they also replaced the lines from King Trident and possibly others. Did King Trident also get a new voice actor? I don't think he did. It doesn't sound like he does, if I'm playing back the audio in my head. Ansem, you can definitely hear he's got a new voice actor, but King Trident I think is still the same, but it's definitely a different take, if anything, they used there. It's not the exact same audio.
Wait, maybe she can be of some help. Yes.
That's interesting. I guess that version worked better with the rhythm of that specific sequence, maybe? And they just used another take which they had laying around? That's very possible. Or they re-recorded it because of licensing reasons, maybe?
You're Ursula. Well, I was
Or maybe
just wondering
because of like an artistic reasoning, though I very much doubt that. It would be interesting to see if the Japanese version, I'm sorry I hit the microphone there, if the Japanese version also has a different voice line there. I mean, the Japanese version didn't replace Ansem after the first game, I don't think.
That mysterious key.
We've got another mystery on our hands, people. But this is something we can actually rather easily probably figure. That's not true. I mean, the Ansem thing, I don't even have to figure out. I just assume that he didn't get replaced after the first game in Japan. The King Trident one, though, as long as like my hypothesis of it not being the exact same audio line is true, that will be a little bit more difficult to figure out what exactly is the reason behind that, because I don't think there's going to be a press statement about that, because it's something really obscure, and I can't have been the first person to notice, but I might have been the first person to notice, because I've played these games way too many times, and I am now talking over them, trying to just talk a lot of nonsense, and this is not nonsense, this is... I'm fairly certain I'm right here. I might just be making a fool of myself and just talking bullshit, but I'm fairly certain it's a different voice line. So let me think here. We go back with it. There they are again. It unnerves me, man. It really does. So we go back with the dolphin. Go back to the ship pod. And I think Sebastian will help us get through. Then we fight Ursula. We got Mermaid Kick and then we fight Ursula again, and that's it. So about another 15 or so minutes in this world. And then we'll be rid of it for a good while, until I replay this game again. Which, as long as I'm not let's playing it. I mean, if I'm let's playing it again, yeah, I'm definitely playing this world again as well. You see, there it is, the shark. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't want to fight that shark. As long as I'm not let's playing it for my next playthrough though. Okay, now you can just frig off. I am probably gonna skip Atlantica because I really don't like this world, and unless you're playing on expert mode, at which point this world is brutally difficult as well, of course. This world seems to be more difficult than your average world anyway, because it's optional, I would assume. Can I please just get on board this? Thank you. Before anything spawns. Long story short, I pay way too close attention to everything related to Kingdom Hearts, and that ends up meaning that I see things like, nobody's talking about the Keyblade arc I picked up in the E3 trailer. What the hell is up with that Keyblade? But also, kind of things like, hey, that's a different voice line from Kingdom Hearts 2, which it's a flashback to literally this moment, so why didn't they literally use this piece of audio? If only, but I'm supposed to go to the fucking castle first, or the palace, aren't I? Well, that just added another 2 or so minutes to this episode. As if this episode wasn't long enough already, being in Atlantica. Next episode is Halloween Town. It'll be fun. And then Maveland, which also will be fun. And then Hollow Bastion, which will be really long. For Hollow Bastion, I might actually just like write down a list of topics to talk about, because otherwise, I mean, that's going to be a long episode. And that's mostly because there is a lot of cutscenes, but also there's a lot of gameplay. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of gameplay in Hollow Bastion, but also a lot of cutscenes. But I won't be stopping my banter for... Okay, so I am supposed to go this way first. I'm not gonna stop talking over the cutscenes in Hollow Bastion suddenly, because I've been doing that the entire game, and I bet that's going to piss off some people, but at this point, if you haven't seen the story of Kingdom Hearts, you're a little late, frankly speaking. This series has been going for like 15 years, more I think even. The original Kingdom Hearts was released in 2002 or 2003, I think. Actually, I can check that. Next cutscene. I'll go ahead and check that. Is this a cutscene? It definitely sounds like a cutscene. I have... Oh wow, I've got it right away. Release date, and this is the European version, Platinum Edition, which I don't think will give me a different date at all. But I can't see... 2002. It seems like 2002 is the right answer here. I could probably just Google it though. Let's be safe and Google it. Kingdom Hearts 1 release dates. No, not March 14. 2013. That's the 1.5 release date indeed, but not Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 was released in 2002. I'm very much aware, but I want an actual date. Kingdom Hearts 1 was released in Japan March 28, 2002, so counting the Japanese release date, this is literally over 16 years old at this point. Counting the North American one, which is September 17th, 2002, it's over 15 years, but not quite 16 years old. And then... Donald Ariel. And then the European release is November 15th, 2002, which isn't really much different from September as far as like timing goes and how old it is. And Australia, it was released at November the 22nd, 2002, which is literally like a week after Europe. Australia really got fucks on that one. Honestly, this is a testament to a older age, where, okay, from Japan to the US, even these days, a lot of games will get global releases. Localization will be done before the first version is released. Sometimes not though. Especially Square Enix has a little bit of a habit of releasing Japanese versions first and then about a year later releasing the English version, especially since localization on more narratively driven games is a lot more work. So they will release it first in Japan and then release it in the US. But for some reason, there was a thing going on where the European versions of games would be released about a month later as compared to the American version. And that might have to do with localization based around like German or French versions. Because those people can't just play English games. No offense if you're from Germany or France, but why the hell do you specifically need a game in your language? We kind of... I mean, to be honest, Netherlands has been doing that more and more. Well, not lately, but it's been going up, and I think it's going back down again because nobody really gives a damn about localization anymore, and dubbing especially. At least not into Dutch. Long story short, it used to be the case that first the game was released in Japan if it was a Japanese developer, and most of the games I ever play in my life are from Japanese developers, so... Pokemon Black and White, I originally played in Japanese, and I didn't understand it, so I didn't really get that far. And then I downloaded, because I could download a ROM, I didn't actually like import it from Japan. I don't know if the DS is region locked actually, it might be. I don't think it is, I think the 3DS might be though. Anyway, so I downloaded a ROM and patched it into English because there were fan translations online, which you could patch a ROM into a patcher and it would become mostly English. The first patches would just be the movesets, because those are the most important things, of course, in a Pokemon game. And then slowly but surely they would start doing important story dialogue and then less important dialogue, and they would slowly but surely translate the entire game, and they would be roughly at the same time as the official English release that would be done, because these are just people with jobs doing this at the site, mostly. And it has to be people who can translate Japanese into English. That used to be the case. These days, Pokemon games get released globally. And I'm very, very glad about that. Hopefully Square Enix will also start doing that at some point, but that I can understand. This isn't... What am I supposed to do then? Why am I coming back here all the time when I'm not supposed to go here yet? Am I supposed to go to my grotto? Is that it? I honestly have no idea. Part of the problem being that this is not at all based on the original movie. The original movie, I haven't seen that much, granted, but I know the story roughly. Kingdom Hearts 2 is way closer to the original movie. Well, if you combine the story of Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 as far as Atlantica goes, that's roughly speaking getting close to the actual original film. Going back to my localization topic though, is I don't understand why Europe, especially the countries which don't get localized versions, because I never got a Dutch Kingdom Hearts, and I'm kinda glad about that, because the English version is very good. And I don't think there's a German or a French Kingdom Hearts either, so... Why? Why was that literally like September 17th to November 15th? Why is that huge gap there? Where am I supposed to go? Like, really, where am I supposed to go? I'm gonna go back talk to King Trident to see if I missed any important dialogue. But then, between Europe and Australia? Shouldn't Australia get it earlier than Europe, if anything? Because there's nobody... At least, like, the native language of the entire country of Australia is English. So there's no localization to be done. Even if that was the argument for the European version, which I don't think it is. Yeah, so I need to go over there, but I don't understand this game. I genuinely don't, and I'm not paying a lot of attention. That doesn't help, I'm fully aware, but this game's confusing, man. It's confusing. I also feel like I totally may have forgotten to equip an ability I got at some point during either this episode or the last, so let me not equip the ability apparently. I like the fact that with the 1 combo plus I have equipped, my combo is just long enough to kill these things in 1 combo. Really helped, because 2 combos would be annoying, 1 combo is just satisfying. It's more of these white mushroom people. Yeah, it is. I'm just going to politely ignore all of you if you don't mind. So let's try this yet again. And hopefully this time I'll be able to progress, because we're 41 minutes into this episode and nothing noteworthy has happened so far. Well, that's not true. But I've spent about like at least 10 of those minutes fucking around and not knowing what I'm supposed to do. As is the nature of me playing Atlantica and Kingdom Hearts 1. Just, I warned you guys 3 episodes or so ahead of this episode that this could and probably would happen. Not equipment abilities. Second Wind, definitely gonna equip that to Donald. Goofy's gotten Lucky Strike, yeah, sounds good. And I've gotten Guard, and Hurricane Blast is a pretty good ability. Strike Rate I'm not going to use, and Guard I'm not going to use. I'm not even going to bother equipping them, even though I've got plenty of AP to do so. I just... why would I? Where's my dolphin friend? Dolphin friend, there you are. I'm scared to move around because I'll definitely spawn some enemies, which will make this even more of a tedious process, which it already pretty much is the most tedious process in the world, so I'd rather just avoid that if at all possible. Hopefully this time we'll actually be able to accomplish something with our lives, because we also still have to... You'll see why I did this in a second. The fight coming up is heavily magic based. When going back to second form Ursula, the big one, I'll get 3 wishes again, but for right now, definitely this is the way to go. Isn't there something... this isn't the time. King Triton literally... I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? I legitimately have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. If this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, then what is? Hang on, I'm confused. Are you kidding me? What even is this? Pretty useless. Oh, it's a shortcut. Never mind, that's very useful. I legitimately, up until this moment in my life, I never knew that was a shortcut that I could use. Isn't there something else you should be doing? Maybe you tell me what I'm supposed to be doing if there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Because I'm fairly certain I have to go over here. The abandoned shipwreck, that's what King Trident said. What? This is it? I'm confused. I don't like being confused. Why am I in first person mode? Can I open this chest? No, it's not an actual chest, you stupid. I know I need Sebastian. But why do I don't understand. Please tell me what I'm supposed to do. I don't want this episode to take literally 2 hours. All of you are probably very annoyed with me as well. Okay, so those guys don't open unless there's no combat around. In which case, tough luck. I'm not gonna open yet. Let's talk to King Trident once again. Sebastian is not around here, is he? Doesn't look like it. Ursula seems to come from the direction of the sunken ships. I've heard there's some contraption on the wall behind the shipwreck. That's literally where I just was. And it didn't do much good for me. So could you please be a little bit more specific? Am I supposed to talk to Flounder again first? Am I supposed to find Sebastian somewhere? Because I do remember Sebastian having to push that button. But it doesn't say it's out of reach, it just says, shouldn't you be doing something else right now? And no, as a matter of fact, I do not think I should be. I think I should be going after Ursula, which has the, like, trident thing of power. There's a strange border by the sunken ship. It has some kind of marking on it. I am very much aware. So what? I mean, I'm gonna go down here and see if I can, miraculously speaking, suddenly unlock it now, which I probably can't. Yeah, there is, no, actually there isn't. There's not something else I should be doing. Other than finding Sebastian, maybe. It's the only thing I can really think of. But where could he be? There's only one place I haven't looked yet, and if that's the place I'm supposed to be, well, I guess I'll just look very stupid. Not knowing I was supposed to go there. But I don't think it is the thing I'm supposed to do, because it literally makes no sense. It literally... Actually, I'm pretty certain I'm supposed to go over there, because it literally makes no sense, and this entire world literally makes no sense. So, yeah, let's try it. The Tranquil Grotto. Is Sebastian over here? And if he isn't, at least I've got a save point. I may just Google what I'm supposed to do at this point, because I legitimately have no idea. I mean, I don't need the dolphin anymore, that's something good. Then again, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. So that's something very, very bad. Yeah, this just takes me to nowhere. Just literally takes me around. Okay. I'm going to... What am I going to do? It's a very good question indeed. For the dumbest reason imaginable, you can't progress in this part unless the shark is not on this map. And as long as the shark is on this map, you can't have Sebastian come out and push the button, because the shark likes crab, I guess. It's really stupid beyond all fucking comprehension. But now that the shark is gone, I should be able to... Oh my fucking god, it's... I wasn't in combat. I was not in combat. Okay, let's fight Ursula. I'm not even gonna bother with these guys, honestly. I'm just going to... I probably should equip some Athers, or maybe Alexes even, if I'm gonna be fighting Ursula, because, again, magic-based fight. If he despawns, and I'll be able to... Yeah, I will. I'll just equip... no, I don't. Well, let's use one on Sora, why not? Exchange, stock, Ather, exchange, stock, Ather, exchange, Ather. And I'll exchange one for a... Not a Mega Elixir. A normal Elixir. Mega Elixirs are by far the best items in the game. Fire and let's do Blizzara. That's assuming I'm not going to need Cure in the upcoming battle, which I probably will. I'm going to again ignore everything that happens around here because I need to save my HP and MP for the upcoming battle. This is legitimately one of the more tricky boss battles in the game if you don't know what you're doing. If you do know what you're doing, which I probably don't, it's not that big a deal.
Your time has come.
This is definitely going to be the longest episode of the series so far. Hollow Bastion might break that record when we come to it, but it's mostly a case of, you see, this is what you're supposed to do. Just spam a spell into it until... Where's Ursula? Where's Ursula? Where's Ursula? Ursula's up there. That knocks Ursula out and that allows you to wail on her for a little bit. That's why I wanted to have a magic keyblade, because I just want the extra MP so I don't get stuck. And I'm on beginner mode, so I'll do enough damage either way. Jetsam and Flotsam are here exclusively as MP for them. You can hit them over and over again and you can knock them out and Ursula will revive them and you can build up MP that way. But it's a really long and tedious process if you want to do it that way. Also, you can hit Ursula with those fireballs coming out if you are very good at this. I am in fact not very good at this, so I won't be able to hit her properly. But only knocking her out 2 or 3 times should be enough to just win this fight downright. So if Ariel doesn't knock Ursula away to the other half of the battlefield... Okay, 3 times it will be. I probably would have been fine with 3 wishes and I might have actually been able to kill her the second time around with 3 wishes. Because it does a lot more melee damage. Then again, it might just be an HP trigger and not a timer. And if that's the case... Spellbinder definitely is the Bastion. Okay, that just downright killed her. Never mind. So yeah, this fight was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be fair. And now we can go right into the second phase of Ursula. And that'll be that. We'll have a lot of cutscenes and I'll finally be able to end off this episode. I thought this episode was going to be long. Maybe even 45 minutes. I've been recording for an hour. I mean, I've been looking around on the internet a little bit. That's what I'm supposed to do. And people say, kill the shark. Which is stupid. It's just stupid. I also got Blitz, I think. Which I should equip. Yeah. And I should equip the 3 wishes again. Bye-bye, MP. I'm not going to miss you. So now when I tap and then hold... So tap once and then release and then hold a square button. I can swim really, really quickly. And that's more useful than you would think. Firstly, it'll allow me to go up the stream without the dolphin's help. Meaning that I can now choose where I get off. Sounds a bit weird. Also, it just allows me to get around Atlantica a lot quicker. And Atlantica is a rather large world. So it's nice to be able to travel a little bit more quickly around. And as you can see, I can now swim up the stream ever so slowly. And this is question mark, question mark, question mark. I think the only place that's called question mark, question mark, question mark in this game. In Kingdom Hearts 2, of course, any map that you have not been to yet is marked as triple question mark. That's not the case in this game. This game just gives you the name, even if you have never been there. This, however, is called triple question mark, and I think it's the only place in this game that'll ever display that. Because even the desert, which you won't ever be returning to, has a little tag named desert, and I think that actually changes. I did not... I might actually die here, and Spellbinder might actually be a better fit for this fight as well. Not that it's going to matter too much. Anyway, I think it actually, the desert thing in Agrabah gets replaced by Cave of Wonders after you can't go back to the desert anymore. Which is after the first time you go to the desert. As you can see, it's a rather easy fight, all things considered. Especially with Arrow, I won't get a lot of damage and I'll deal quite a bit of damage against her with a little bit of extra contacts damage. Contacts? It's, yeah man, she's getting more damage because of the contacts. contact damage, I was meaning to say there. And she's down to her last bar, so we're almost done here. The boss fights aren't the difficult and time-consuming part about this Let's Play. It's definitely just trying to find your way around the unknown worlds and watching a lot of cutscenes, which takes up quite a bit of the time of any given world. You see, I haven't had to use Cure at all, and one more combo and Ursula will be done for. There you go. Time to drink some water. It's the most annoying part of the game done. And somehow she survives this and comes back for Kingdom Hearts 2. Because that makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, we have to do some more input stuff. We have to go back to Ariel's Grotto. After this, though, we get a Keyblade, which is pretty good. It's a balanced Keyblade, I do believe, which is fairly strong melee-wise, but also gives you 1 extra MP, and we get an upgrade to Thunder, which is one of my favorite spells, of course. Talking about spells, Arrow and Cure go back in my shortcuts menu. So you could just leave this world now thinking you're done. You'd be wrong. You'd be very wrong indeed. Also, sorry, okay, please stop swimming fast. Thank you. You still have to seal the keyhole, because there is a keyhole here. Doesn't get communicated very clearly to you. Maybe in the dialogue I just skipped through, it says, I'll see you in Ariel's Grotto. I don't know that it does, though. Might, well, we may never know. I mean, I've literally got video footage to prove whether or not it does. How this works, I still don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, this world actually also has a... Actually, every world has a special kind of keyhole. I mean, this has like a keyhole appear out of thin water, not thin air, because there's not really air around there. And Neverland has it in the Big Bang. Halloween Town has it. You unlock it through the moon, which is a little bit weird. So they all have something special. What I said about the rest of them being rather dull in comparison while playing through Agrabah, not entirely true, but Agrabah definitely has the most interesting in my opinion.
It's okay. Besides, if you can travel to other worlds, maybe I can too. So many places I want to see. I know I'll get there someday.
Sure you will, Ariel. Sure you
I'm
will.
sure of it.
Well, if you find it, do me a favor and leave me out of it.
And that's the end of Atlantica. The Crab Claw. Let's see. I mean, we're quite a way into this episode, but I want to see not Spellbind, the Crab Claw. It's the same strength-wise, but raises your MP by 1, also enhances the power of magic and summon, also deals good physical damage. So it's literally 3 wishes. It might be a little bit longer, not noticeably though, and it gives you more MP. So it's literally a better version of the 3 wishes. Yeah, that definitely does feel longer as well, which is a very good thing. So let's go. Oh, double tapping circle also works apparently. The more you know. Let's go back to the castle here and then end of this episode by the save point. Because I'm not going to record another episode right after this, because my brain has just been fried for trying to figure out what all is going on here for over an hour at this point. I mean, the episode itself is possibly going to be just under an hour. I think it's actually just going to be over an hour. So I'm going to make this quick. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Kingdom Hearts. I hope you didn't suffer as much as I did, because I definitely did. Until the next time, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video, which hopefully you have. It's been a long one. Until the next time when we are going to Halloween Town. Bye.